It is High Priestess Jamila. Um, I'm taking a little break from my wake. And trust me, I will not be here long. It's the end of the month. Got a lot of shit to do. Um, yeah, it's funny. I don't want to call it dysfunction, but I am going to call it delusion. And I'm going to call it delusion because it is an illusion that is very weakly being created by codependent people in social media. And it's so much going on and it's so much to unpack that we're not going to unpack the whole thing. We're going to keep that shit packed away and thrown in the Mariana Trench is what we're going to do. And I'm trying to figure out, are these people gonna do this shit every day? Like every day? Because I can't respond every day and I won't. Literally, I am living my real life, right? I've been living my real life, living within my truth, knowing the fucking truth. You know what I'm saying? And to have somebody who is totally delusional, like totally delusional. Here go the bum again. Are you serious about what you're saying? I wonder if somebody is paying him to lie. Just just let me just say this, as a woman, I can honestly say that I have never been in love with Mike ever. That is a fact. I have never been in love with him. Do I believe that he's ever been in love with me? No, I don't. Even and see their proof of this. I'm not even going to mention out of respect for my man, but y'all know what I'm talking about. The images. But their proof of this was Mike giving me money. But if it was really love, would Mike had came if he were in love? I know I wasn't. You can't pay for love. You can't. If it were really love on his end, though, would he have came immediately to social media and spoke about it at all? A lot of you real men out there that are observing the situation, that have been in love, would you have done any of the things that Mike did? It is a showcase. It is, and it's not something that like, and how do you find yourself like emotionally attached to that situation? It seems like there's some kind of trauma bond attachment by the bomb. The bomb is attached to that. I don't know if it is because he looks at me and Mike as his mommy and daddy or something. It's really weird. But again, I don't have no, not only do I not have an attachment, because if you notice the wording that he used, she got mad at me. I listened, I did, because I think it's very interesting, even though it can be creepy. I can handle that. It's very creepy. She got mad at me. First of all, I don't know you. I don't care about you to get mad at you. Like you're speaking as if family, you're speaking as if there's some kind of emotional connection with you, and it's not. So that part right there, if you are able to break down people, if you have an understanding of people, am I mad at you? No. Um, And that doesn't mean that I like you, because he'll hold on any and grasp onto anything, right? I'm speaking out. I have spoken out about the not only the intellectual, emotional, and social dysfunction and delusion of you. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm mad at you. I don't even fucking know you. Mad at you for what? Have you caused anything to happen in my life? No, you haven't. Mad at you? What? You're a stalker. Who the fuck after 13 years to be angry at somebody, you would have to feel some type of emotion for them. I don't feel anything for you. I am just saying that clearly you are either delusional and mentally ill as the fuck, or you're playing at a lie for the sake of your dead ass stalking sector, something. Nobody cares. It doesn't fucking matter. The point is that I have never been in love with Mike, and I ain't never cared for y'all sector at all. Yeah. I like your sector, even though it at any moment there would be police at my door, fucking CPS at the door, the fire department, y'all, and so like that's somebody, that is a person that will, number one, attach themselves to a fucked up situation, and I am not like that. Number two, that would be a person that lacks in any kind of hard work and skill. You know, you can, if you're a person that, number one, you have not paid any fucking bills, you ain't actually ever worked and paid your bills, you're not going to give a fuck about the your rights to have privacy and peace in your home that you're paying for. So that's number one. Doesn't matter if a person gets housing assistance, that person still has to pay their portion of the rent. So basically, when you get housing assistance, the government is basically sharing your rent with you, basically, the feds, the federal government, because that's federally funded. So either way it goes, when you're looking at it as a person like me, you're looking at it totally different versus those people, Bum Dot, who has never paid his rent, Mike, who has never worked and paid for anything. This is a fact. This is a fact. You've been in that sector fucking around, pointless, meaningless, looking at it as a job, talking about I'm retired from the sector. What? A normal person that functions normally, that is responsible, that has had a real job or ran a real business is going to be like, huh? The fuck is that? What do you mean you retired? You didn't do nothing. It's weird. It's a special kind of situation, and I personally feel again that there are some people, it's got to be some people that have got to be investing in that bullshit. And keep in mind, these people, those people, to me, they are scripted, but there still has to be some kind of fucking emotional problem for you to even allow anybody to give you a fucking script like that. Something is fucking wrong. And whoever is doing it is trying to be a master of illusion. And please, I'm gonna tell y'all something. If anybody has tried to be a master of illusions like that, like I'm talking about long term, trying to connect themselves, get their hooks in you like that, please believe that I know how to deal with it. I'm not going to give the details of it. I'm not a master of illusion. Everything that I have is real, including my beauty, honey. Everything is real. I don't master illusion. My manifestation powers are very real. That's not an illusion. I don't have to fake that. I don't have to fake it at all. But I do know how to override people who are trying to create an illusion. I mean, it's so deep that y'all won't stop. But you know who, you know what the main thing is that you have never and you will never be able to convince me of that. That's the problem with that your handlers are not understanding, is that you'll never be able to convince me that I have some kind of association or soul ties, some shit like that. It's not real. It's been created for the purposes of social media so that you could distract, deflect, and make me look like some type of way. And it is so your handlers are weaker than me. Okay? The people that are handling you are weaker than me. They got some kind of fantasy that they have some kind of cord to me through y'all. That's really what I believe is going on. And we've actually seen this happen before. Actually, coincidentally, I've seen this happen with another bruja. I'm not going to call her name, but she's went through all kinds of shit, all kinds of shit that I know for a fact I'm not going to go through. I'm not saying that I'm better than her. I'm just saying that there are so many people that limit their knowledge and understanding of how well you can protect yourself and how you really have to dive deep in infinite waters to have an understanding of who you are and what it actually takes when you have somebody that's doing that. Now, in my mind, I'm knowing who I am. So this is the reason why these people feel the need to do this anyway. But the problem is not about knowing who you are, but it's knowing how to deal with that shit. It's knowing how to deal with it and how to not actually be harmed by it, and to be able to, because there's some people that you know, honestly, the handlers of that situation, they want to take my entire life. They're that pathetic. They are that pathetic to where they want to take my entire life, turn it into their production on YouTube. And I've said it, the reason why is because what you're trying to get, it's not meant for you to have. Now, if you have obtained something, I'd say the cutoff date was, I won't even mention the cutoff date. Then you need to take what you have and run for your fucking life. Other than that, to keep at it is very dangerous, is all I gotta fucking say. The whole point of witchery is not about glamour and illusion all the time. You can't ride just on that. That's one aspect of the craft. Because in reality, if you don't have the fucking power to make some shit actually real and real to the person, then what the fuck are you doing? You are wasting your investment. You're not going to get a return on your investment, especially with me, because I am many people. I am many people. You understand me? And a lot of people that don't understand that, of course, the back, but I mean literally, it just, it's ridiculous because you're not me and I am many people. I am many. And I know that y'all like, oh my gosh, she's talking like she's the devil, because you know how they say the devil got many selves and shit. But it's more so like it's just who I am. And I don't have to do shit like that. And I think it's quite fucking pathetic. And I think that you're stupid as hell to be playing around with people's heart. That's going to catch up with you soon. Especially when you're trying to play around with my man's heart. I got his heart. So, I want y'all to think about and put yourself, well, you can't do that, but think about if you were my new man and you was hearing this shit or aware of a bunch of delusional people in social media constantly doing this shit and constantly trying to claim you, some niggas trying to claim you in social media. That might be something that could piss you off, wouldn't it? Especially if you in love with a woman and you like a woman and you care about her, right? But see, the thing of it is that, like I said, these fake ass people, they want to attempt to hurt him. I got his heart protected at all four chambers, so you can't hurt him. Plus, he's not like a super, like he's not narcissistic. You see what I'm saying? He's very, very, very much like me, only he's a man, right? So, and that's fucked up. It just shows how much of a fucking lowlife you are. It does. Especially if you a man that has just merely, I'm not even going to mention it, but if you were physically active with a woman and for a whole fucking year you are aware, you are fully aware, but you don't want to admit it, you want to be delusional about it. You're fully aware that this woman doesn't fuck with you and that she's with somebody else, and for a whole year, fuck that, 13 years, you've been a whole fried trying to either claim, hold hostage somebody else's hostage. I'm his prisoner of love. And we loving it. We loving it. We don't live together yet, but we still loving this whole thing that's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's beautiful and it's divinely protected. You sitting up here for a whole year trying to claim somebody else's woman while at the same time you know you can't have this woman, so you're trying as hard as you can to defile her image, to do something, but then also at the same time you're retarded enough to believe that she's gonna actually, like, I'm sorry, I don't have that. It's not in my gene pool, it's not in my blood anyway, to be sitting up here saying, oh my God, he said that to me, I got a fold for him. No, that's not. And then also, when I'm just being real honest about the situation, you know what I'm saying? While you was trying to trick me, I was literally tricking your ass. I'm not actually the type of person that would fucking fall in love with a fucking man like that. Fuck, are you fucking stupid? Let me tell you something. The whole point of that dude even attempting to do that, which was love bombing and then abuse, was factually to harm me or kill me. If I were truly in love with that person, I probably would have been done had a heart attack or a fucking stroke by now, or at least some kind of sickness. Or I'd be running around here pissing on myself, looking crazy as the fuck, but we all know what I look like. We all know that I am definitely unbothered by that person and don't give a fuck. See, that's what narcissistic people do. They go on these missions and agendas that are not real. It's actually quite sad. It's actually quite fucking sad when you think about it. Because they not living a real life. Why would somebody choose, unless they were slow, or like, because my heart chakra is balanced, it's not overactive. You see what I'm saying? Why would somebody choose some fake shit, especially me, when I was already successful? I don't need you or your sector to be successful, or any of that shit. I don't need to do any of that shit to be successful. Why would I choose that or even consider it at all ever, and then not even be able to recognize it? Should do I look retarded to you? Why would anybody choose that over a real life with real love and care and comfort and real money, real security? Because think, for me as a Cancer, money is security. That's it. But in reality, if me and my man, which we wouldn't, but if we lived in like a one bedroom, little modest place, I would still be totally in love with him. So it's not about any of that. I wouldn't give a shit. It just so happened that, that would happen because I always do it big. My family always do it big, and he always do it big. But I'm just saying, it's not even about money for me. It's about security. It's about having a man intelligent enough to be able to have a career and be around people for a long period of time. That's literally what that's about. So even if you a woman and my man does not work at Wendy's, but can you imagine if you're a person let me tell you something. Think about the type of people that will have, and that's the bomb, working at Wendy's and purposely um, tampering with the food. See, a person like that is going to get caught and fired. A person like that does not have good sense and intelligence. No woman, especially a woman of my stature, is going to be with a fucking person. I don't even know nobody personally that would go to work and spit in somebody's food. And you know what? Let me talk about my dearly departed baby daddy, Frankie. Let's talk about Frankie. He's passed on. I've got two daughters by him. He actually used to work in food service at hospitals and stuff, right? And he was a cook. He cooked for me quite a bit, especially when I was pregnant. All I had to do was lay around and eat. That boy was cooking. He cooked all of our meals. He would never do something to somebody's food, ever. You know what? He may not have had a big earning potential, but to be a person that would never tamper with somebody's food, that takes food safety seriously and ain't disgusting and nasty, like, that's disgusting. That's disgusting. To tamper with somebody's fucking food. I think they getting ready to arrest, or either they already arrested that lady that worked at McDonald's over there, and I think in Boston. Was it Massachusetts or Pennsylvania? Somewhere over there. This nasty heifer was putting people's fries in her mouth, spitting on the fries, putting it back in the box, and then serving it to customers. I mean, that's not a mistake that somebody just so happened to make. You know what I'm saying? That's not a mistake. That's not like, like if you, fumble something or make a mistake at the office or whatever, to where it was like an honest mistake. You know what I'm saying? That's some nasty shit. So, it's weird. And people like that don't like this, like to me, the folks that I'm talking about are literally like the fucking decays of fucking society. And I don't like that shit or respect it, and I would never want to be associated. Can you imagine? You go to get your fucking McDonald's breakfast and somebody done spit in that shit. Can you imagine owning a McDonald's franchise and your employee is so fucking retarded and unappreciative that they have a job and they would abuse their power like that in that kind of fucking way. I see, I don't fuck with people like that because I'm somebody that's very strong in ethics. That's crazy. I bet you the owner of that McDonald's franchise is probably the one that reported it to the police. Like, oh my God. Coincidentally, what do those people do in that sector? They go around trying to literally fuck with business. They harass businesses and shit and people in business. So a lot of the times when I come on here and I speak out, I'm speaking out so that people can understand that that's not a part of my mental status. And I recognize that. I recognize that. And just because I was involved with someone doesn't mean that I'm like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit really pisses me off. And you know what? Everybody can see your intention. And including me and my spirits, and they're gonna consistently fucking not. I don't have to come on here and keep fucking wasting my fucking breath, like straight up and down. But my spirits are gonna continue to knock your asses down and make all this shit backfire on you, because I personally feel like all of them are losers. Straight up and down. I'm disgusted by that shit. That's why they work so hard to try to make me look like a piece of garbage like them. Like, oh, okay, let's try to let's attempt this again. Let's share a sexy photo that her kid shared in social media. Let's not shame her for that. Let's take it further. Let's lie and say that she's pimping her kids. Even though I ain't never been involved in that lifestyle. I would never have a conversation with my children like that. Ever. Last thing that my daughter told me before she left for work today is, Mama, them orange cookies was good. I don't do stuff like that. Where did these low-lifted people come from? Tiffany and Cat. They are an exact representation of the type of fucking people that they would fuck with, because they are fucked up like that. Which is crazy. That's just like, okay, Tiffany, listen. I gave Tiffany a lot of gems in life, right? And Tiffany was having problems with homelessness, right? So what I told her was, I was like, look, because she was my bestie at the time, I said, get a job in the apartment industry. And that way you'll always have an option for a place to live. And she did it. She did that for the last probably 15 years of her fucking life. Did she have any appreciation? Nope. You know what Tiffany did? Tiffany, in one of her positions as manager, property manager, started fucking the maintenance man, began to terrorize him because he was married, had like 10, 11 kids. He'd been with the baby mama for years. He shouldn't have cheated. This is how you learn a lesson. Okay, he learned a very valuable lesson. Tiffany began to threaten to fire him from his job if he did not have sex with her in the model unit of that apartment every day during lunch hour. Okay, that bitch was a deviant. But yet they say I'm a deviant. See, this female, I know everything about her. Bitch done told me everything. You know what I'm saying? So Tip Tap said, Tip Tap said, nigga, you ain't gonna leave this bitch for me, even though if he left her, she was gonna dog him out anyway. The dude had a job, right? A maintenance man at an apartment complex makes pretty good money. Tiffany told that dude, she said this what she told me about it. She said, girl, so let me tell you. So I told this nigga, like, she telling me about the situation. She like, so I told this nigga, I said, if you don't meet me in the fucking model unit of the fucking complex every day at lunch and fuck me, I'm gonna fire you from your job. At this point, the nigga didn't want to fuck with her no more because she was threatening his 10, 11 children. Guess what he did? He quit his job. Now that's an admirable man. He said, I quit then. I hope that brother found another job. That's how corrupt Tiffany was. And then the bomb will go on there and say every day, is she talking about Tiffany? She talking about Tiffany. She's saying mean things about Tiffany. While they work for Tiffany, even in death, these people work for Tiffany to try to make me look bad and lie on me. And I'm supposed to sit over here and be just as dumb and stupid as they are. See, that's what the fuck I'm talking about. Now, what I told y'all was 1,000,000% truth. I ain't got to lie about that shit. That was one. God knows I'm telling the truth about that story. And it went on for weeks while he was looking for another job. So she called me one day and said, girl, he quit. Needless to say, she ended up being fired from that job because he reported her to the fucking management. See, y'all, and the shit is fucking crazy. And she continued to be able to get jobs in that industry, which was kind of confusing to me. I was thinking, oh, she's done for. Because people that work in the apartment industry, they talk. She was still able to get a job. I don't know if she fucked her way into the position. I have no fucking idea, but she was still able to get hired. And a lot of people will say, well, that's his fault. He a man. He shouldn't have been cheating. Okay, I get that, but isn't it more fucked up to start to force this dude in? She's a rapist. She basically forced this dude to have sex with her a couple of times, and then finally he said no. Basically, he was forced to have sex with Tiffany, even though he didn't want to, right? Because a lot of men, if they have sex with you once or twice and they don't like it, they're not gonna hit it again. Basically, he had sex with her a couple of times. She was able to force him into continuing to have sex with her. Okay? Until he found another job and he was able to quit that job. That's a fact. So, y'all hear that? Y'all ever hear that song? If I hit it one time. Wait a minute. If I hit it one time, then I like her. What is it? Wait a minute. If I hit it one time, I'm a pipe her. If I hit it 2 times, then I like her. If I fuck 3 times, I'm a wife her. And Tiffany just like, I'm gonna force this motherfucker. So y'all saw how she stalked me, bummed out over there crying about the shit. Now that's crazy. Who in the hell gotta force somebody to have sex with them like that? Who the hell needs a group of people to try to make you look good as a woman? I ain't never seen that shit before. This is one of the reasons why I didn't fucking talk to Tiffany for 11 years till she died. Tiffany was murdered December of 2024, and I had been done quit fucking with her in 2013. I was like, oh, wow. Wow. I was like, wow. And she was telling me about all of it. The affair that she had with Aaron's little nephew, it was just all out there. I have a right to not want to hang around with somebody that would do some shit like that. I do. Like it just was like, I'm sitting there listening, I'm kind of chuckling at it and like, yeah, girl, like, dang, really? Like, for real? Like, what? Like, oh my God, like, girl, like, what? But in reality, I'm thinking, Bis, I don't want you around my motherfucking children. I don't want you having no fucking influence because I do things all the way straight. And if you notice, it might have not even took me 3 years to get my business off the ground if it wasn't for her stalking me. How the fuck I do everything straight and I'm making six figures and these motherfuckers running around here doing all kind of shit and making less money than me? So then that truly tells you that you don't necessarily have to do corrupt and desperate shit to make money. That's all I've been saying for years. And also, another thing that we have to recognize is that those people, all of them kind of get off on like this weird whoremongering. It doesn't surprise me that, doesn't it just look like a bunch of black men that are trying to be a part of a big fucking bukkake orgy? See, I don't do shit like that, even when it comes to sex. And y'all, y'all remember that movie with Marlon Wayans, The White Friend? I ain't saying all white women ain't like that, but some of y'all are. Listen, that's a fucked up spirit on you, more than likely. That's a bad spirit on you. I knew Tiffany had spirits on her, but see, I hadn't even really started doing spiritual work yet. And then, Tiffany probably would have me to remove that shit from her had we remained friends. But that's not what was fucking meant to happen. It was fate. It was destiny and fate that happened, because at that time I said, I got to get the fuck away from you. And I'm glad I did, because she was like, I'll blow you and your kids' heads off. I'm like, who are you? And Spirit said, just don't even trip. We protecting you. All of my spirits said that, and your children. It was a fucking trip. Who the fuck does shit like that? Anyway, y'all, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Y'all got the point. I've made my point. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to literally collapse their lungs, continuously trying to go back and forth with me about this shit and try to continuously listen. I'm not a fucking perfect angel. I don't cheat on my man. I'm not a disloyal person. I don't rape people. I ain't no fucking pedophile. I don't do fucked up foul shit. But I ain't never claimed that I was 100% an angel, right? Because none of us can really claim to be perfect. But you're not going to make me look like I'm the complete opposite of moral or immoral. For anybody to be in love with Mike, they would have to be a very immoral person. Now, I would say that Mayoko might be in love with Mike. Talia might be in love with Mike because she matches him. That's a very immoral person. Very immoral. Ill. But a woman like me is not going to actually be in love with Mike. Bullshit. So you barking up the wrong goddamn tree. That's a fact. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way. And you know what? Last night I meant to say this, that it feels good to be connected to a man that it feels so good to not be connected to a man where I have to constantly hear about their sector. Y'all have no idea how it's done wonders for me. It has done wonders for me. Being involved in that situation was fucked up. And you can tell by looking at me how wonderful my man is. He's a wonderful person. He has nothing but good intentions with me. And he has amazing energy. But then you get that black sector What are you trying to do? Are you trying to feed off of me? Because it ain't working. Clearly, it's not. Well, how many of y'all believe that maybe they're trying to feed off of me energetically, but it ain't working? Because if it were working, you wouldn't still be trying to tell a lie on me. If I were even inspiring you as a person, you would have turned your life around by now and not been the way that you are, which is a complete liar and a fraud and a scumbag. Is that not the fucking truth? Anybody that I inspire is not going to be doing shit like that. You see what I'm saying? And I guess it would depend on what you think is as immoral. For me, and you know what, I offer some things at my company that is considered to be black magic, but it's only or baneful, right? But because I offer breakup work for people to break them, to either break them up from somebody that they don't want, or either to break up a couple, right? But we just do that for love. We do that for purposes of love. And another thing, I think that they would love to break me up from my dude, but y'all can't break us up because we're not actively trying to hurt you. We're just defending ourselves. You see what I'm saying? If we were a diabolical man and woman together trying to do harm and fucking perpetrate our darkness upon you, then that would be different. But we wrapped up in each other. We not thinking about y'all. So that's why we can love on each other as much as the fuck we want and not have to fucking worry about it. Me and my man don't have no intention of trying to break up Bum Dot from his fake ass relationship with Amanda. We ain't trying to do nothing to hurt y'all. But see, people like that are crazy as the fuck. That's why they are, and we ain't got nothing to do with that shit. We don't have nothing to do with the inner workings and goings ons of your fucking circle, because we're not in your circle. Neither are my children. Neither is my uncle. Neither is my family. Neither are my grandchildren. And this is what these people don't fucking understand. Is Bum Dot not attempting to either cause harm to my reputation, harm to people's perception of me, and just in case, because he claims that my man doesn't exist, because he's highly emotional like Nancy, uh, you know, is he not trying to cause problems in my relationship by repeatedly doing what he's doing? Is Mike not doing that? Yes, they are doing that. Yes, they are. They're trying to create a problem between me and my loved ones, between me and the public. They're trying to create a very negative public perception of me that is not real and does not exist. Now, the even bigger question is, how do you deal with that and overcome that? I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to fucking tell you. That's something to shit. Like they say, the game is to be sold, not to be fucking told. That's very valuable fucking information. And it takes a higher knowledge of understanding to know how. And the people that are trying to do it, they do have somewhat of an understanding, but they don't have the level of understanding that I have. Do you? No, you don't. In fact, these people have been warned about that shit. I'm not going to continue to give you warnings about it. I don't have time for that shit. In the meantime, nobody over here, nobody is intimidated, pulling up, showing up, All that bullshit, because we already know y'all fate and the fate of your fucking handlers. Once again, people with a YouTube following being delusional, being very delusional while they're doing corrupt shit. Yeah. So we got you over here, fully locked and fucking loaded. Shit's crazy. Anyway, I gotta go. And it's like I said, a lot of y'all gang stalking victims, I know exactly what they do to create the illusion, as well as the curses, as well as the fucking mind fuckery that is within you, that literally you're thinking, and a lot of you guys, I just talked to somebody yesterday that has like a gang stalking group after them. You know what I'm saying? And these motherfuckers was very good at you know, causing some weirdness. But I already cleaned that shit up just from talking to that person. And see, I'm a threat to them. They don't like me. I don't give a fuck. You can't do nothing. Can you do nothing? No, you can't. So let's keep it a buck. What you need to do is bow your ass down. And you ain't even got to bow down. Just go the fuck away. Because you ain't going to do nothing but get smacked the fuck up over here. That's a fact. I'm tired of talking about this bullshit. I was planning on watching Is God Is and doing a fucking review of that shit. I ain't even got the opportunity to do that shit yet. I got plenty of time to do it. I mean, I'll do it later. But it's just the point. You know what I'm saying? It's just a stupid shit. It really is. All right, y'all. We'll talk later. Peace and love to you guys. Have a happy Saturday. Bye.